If you know that there's somewhere you need to go and there's a place that you want to get to, then there's no time to be chilling. There's a lot of work to be done. We have to make sure that we're doing this work, because if we're not doing this work, then we won't get to those places we want to get to. That's why it's important that we try and define those things and start to actually think and look at, what do I want to do with my life? Actually start identifying these things and reflecting on what we're doing already and saying, okay, is this what I want to be doing? Does this align with me, my purpose, what I want to do, my values, Am I not working a 9 to 5 that I don't want to be working? Do I need to change that? And I think this is why these conversations are needed, you know what I mean? Because we've got so much work to do. Life is about continuously growing. We don't stop growing, and I think everybody should always transform, evolve, become better people, whether this is through meditation, through creativity, through however you might share yourself with the world, or however you might want to live your life. It's important that we start thinking about, okay, what's the next steps for me though? Where am I going to go next? How do I want things to be in a year's time? How do I want things to be in 3 years' time? You know what I mean? We need to start thinking ahead, because then we can set a foundation for ourselves now where we can start thinking, okay, this is where I want to be. What do I need to do to get there now? Everything that we want has steps to be able to get there. Life's not a joke. We need to start thinking about these things. Wouldn't you rather sit down for a moment and reflect on these things, write them down, start to think about them, even if it's in your notes on your phone, it could be anything. Wouldn't you rather do that for a moment, and that could change the rest of your life, than rather sit down, watch a movie, or scroll on social media for like 3 hours? You know what I mean? We do this, we wake up every morning, a lot of people, and we wake up straight away, we're on our phones. We're not thinking about, how do I want my day to be? How do I want it to look? You know what I mean? And I don't believe there's any right way of doing that. I don't think there's any right way of living. I'm not saying people shouldn't be waking up every morning on their phones, because that's something that I definitely sometimes do, you get me? But my point is that if there's anything in your life that you feel like might be holding you back, maybe we should start acknowledging those things and start thinking about, how can we change these things? How can we start changing those types of habits and put new ones in place to be able to do what we want to do? That's where discipline comes into act. It's about stripping back some of the things that we hold on to so much, that we might be addicted to, that we can't stop having, or we can't stop doing, that might be holding us back. We put an end to those things, and then we create time and room to be able to do the things that we do want to do. You know what I mean? This is about us living a life of our purpose, about what we need to be doing in this world with your life. Everybody has different goals. It could be growing spiritually, it could be growing physically, like it could be anything. It could be about your career. But it's like, we need to target these things. All these things matter in life, and we need to target them and say, how are we going to get there? It's going to take some time to let go of certain things that are holding us back. This could be certain relationships, friendships. This could be addictions. This could be so many different types of things. It's going to take a lot to get out of that, you know what I mean? It takes a big strive, a big discipline. But then if we can acknowledge those things, what is it that's holding me back? Then that's when we can start to make the movements that are necessary to be able to reach what we need to reach. Say I want to change my diet. I don't think it'll be that easy to just strip down what I don't want to do straight away. I think I need to do bite-sized pieces, you know what I mean? But same time, fasting is a thing, and that's another way that we can start to think about our bodies and how we're gonna develop. And that takes a big discipline, those type of practices. It might be good to find certain practices that can provide that source of discipline, you know what I mean? And fasting, for example, people do 3-day fruit fasts. At the end of it, it helps you. But I think it's time to actually start thinking about our time, thinking about our tasks. Even if one task seems too big, then we might need to start breaking that task into multiple different steps to start thinking about how we can do this. And then, life's like a game. It's like you have these tasks, you gotta complete them, and once you've completed them, you'll be rewarded for those things you've done. Right now I'm putting this video out, and I know that in a few years' time I will be happy that I've done that, because it would have affected so many people. It would have helped so many people, which I'm trying to do. And that is exactly what this is about. It's about what is your purpose, what you're supposed to be doing, and we need to make time and schedule these things in so that we can make a difference. What about your mindset? What do you think like? Let me know down below. What do you think like? Are you a person who tends to think quite negatively about what you're doing or what you think of yourself? Are you a person that might, drop something on the floor and say, oh, I'm an idiot? Or you do something a bit funny, you go, oh, I'm an idiot. Do you know the power that these words have on you? Do you know the power that these words have on your actual material and physical reality? We don't think about these things, and it's important that we do. These thoughts that go around in our heads, these things that we say out of our mouths, they are almost like spells that we put in on us. They're things we put in on our future, and a lot of us don't realize what we're saying every day, and we end up saying it anyways, whether it's accidentally or you actually do mean it. But we need to start thinking about our mindset and changing that mindset to be able to open up more of a positive doorway, which creates space to be able to get certain things done that we need to get done. Mindset is so important when it comes to discipline and doing what you want to do in life and making sure we're getting things done, because we need to actually want and strive and have that space there in our minds to be able to do this. And this is what I'm saying. It comes back to what's in the way. How do we get rid of what's in the way? How do we make space, identify what we want, and absolutely shift our mindsets to an abundant mindset? We need to do that, and it's so important. You need to believe it. Believe that you are going to shape your reality in the way that you want to shape your reality. This is all in control of us. We were created. We are here now. I am speaking to you through a phone. I've created this experience right now, and you can do the same thing. You can create your own experiences. It doesn't matter what it is, whether you paint a picture, you start a social media platform, you're making a certain song or exercising, whatever it is. You can do this. You can change your reality. You're the person that's in control, and we need to start thinking, I'm in control of this. And that's what it's about. We need to be in control. I think it's just so important that we have these self-awareness discussions, and we start thinking to ourselves, how aware am I of myself, of what I do daily, of what I do with my hours, my minutes, my seconds? It's so important, and I'm learning. I'm still learning. Do you get me? And me speaking out right now is helping me kind of think about these things and put things into action, because we need to be able to do that. We need to be able to acknowledge what we're doing and make a difference. Let me ask you something, and let me know down below in the comments what satisfies you. What do you enjoy doing every day? Like, if, say for example, you work in a 9 to 5, this is just an example, and you're thinking, okay, I could be doing this right now, or like, I wish I was doing this right now. What are those things? Or what have you always wanted to do? Let me know, because then we can start, once you've identified that, even if it's a comment below, that's when we can start to say, okay, that's something, that's a step forward, because then we can start shaping things around that idea. When can I make time to put this in to achieve this? And even if it's a daily practice, then we can start to think about those things properly. Once we've got this foundation, this plan that we've been talking about, that is when we go all in. Like, there's no going back then. You know what I mean? And you have to make that a commitment to yourself. Even if that's an affirmation in the morning or a promise that you've made to yourself. I am going to go all in with this idea that I've come up with. I'm doing a YouTube channel, so I'm going to go all in with my YouTube channel. I'm going to make sure that every week on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm releasing content. I'm speaking my mind. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm living the life that I want to live. If I want to go somewhere later on in the year to another country, for example, I'm going there. It's about affirmations. We need to affirm these things into our lives, because it's so important. You get me? I can't even stress how important it actually is to do these things. We have to commitment You know what I mean? I'm sure everyone has committed to at least something. You know, we can't get caught up in this thing, you get me? People always think you have to do things a certain way, the way the system wants you to do certain things. We don't have to do those things like that, you get me? How do you want to do things? And I think that's such an important thing to start thinking about. How do you want your life to look? Because like I said, it's not a joke. You get me? And I'm not joking. Like, I love life, and I want to make sure that everything I'm doing in my life is something that I really want to do. Everyone has different situations, you get me? And I think a lot of people are in survival mode, where, you know, you've got to make your bread, you've got to make your money to get you through the week. And I completely understand that. You know, a lot of us have come from that. I just think that it's time to, even in those hard times, it's time to start thinking about, you know, what am I doing to develop myself? Start thinking about yourself, you get me? How am I going to help myself in a year's time, 2 years or 3 years? We need to start really thinking about that. And, you know, I think this is why I want to make a community of people that think this way. You know, I think it's important for us to sit with each other, to talk to each other, you know, and have this space so we can start planning what we want our lives to look like, because this is a gift, you get me? This is a gift. We don't want to turn it into a curse, or you don't want to be. We have to breathe, you get me? We have to breathe and think and talk and affirm and be there for each other, because we are one, you get me? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you again soon. This is a new video. I'm doing this. This is all new content. This is something that I've decided that I'm meant to be doing, and I need to speak, you know, to other people that get this. So thank you so much for coming across this video. And if you did come across this video was meant for you. You know, we've got so much work to do. So feel free to get in touch with me and we'll start to connect. So blessings, family. I'll see you again soon.